Tommy was a little boy who loved to explore. He was always curious and adventurous. He liked to go to new places and see new things. He was not afraid of anything. One day, he went on a trip with his parents. They flew on a plane to a faraway country. They landed in a big city, where they took a bus to a small village. There, they met a guide who would take them to the jungle. Tommy was very excited. He had never seen a jungle before. He wondered what kind of animals and plants he would find there. He hoped to see some monkeys, parrots, and maybe even a tiger. The next day, they packed their bags and followed the guide. They walked for a long time, until they reached the edge of the jungle. The guide told them to be careful and stay close. He said the jungle was full of dangers and mysteries. He said they would camp there for the night and continue their journey in the morning. Tommy was not scared. He was eager to explore. He asked his parents if he could look around. They said yes, but only for a little while. They told him not to go too far and to come back before dark. They gave him a flashlight and a whistle, in case he got lost. Tommy agreed and ran off. He entered the jungle and felt a rush of wonder. He saw tall trees, colorful flowers, and strange insects. He heard birds singing, frogs croaking, and monkeys chattering. He smelled fresh fruits, sweet flowers, and damp earth. He felt alive and happy. He wandered deeper and deeper into the jungle, forgetting about the time and the distance. He was having too much fun. He didn't notice that the sun was setting and the shadows were growing. He didn't realize that he was lost. He stopped when he saw a big lake. He decided to take a break and drink some water. He walked to the edge of the lake and bent down. He was about to scoop some water with his hands, when he saw something moving in the water. He looked closer and saw a pair of eyes staring back at him. They were big and round and green. They belonged to a crocodile. The crocodile opened its mouth and showed its sharp teeth. It was hungry and angry. It wanted to eat Tommy. Tommy was terrified. He jumped back and ran away. He screamed for help, but no one heard him. He blew his whistle, but no one came. He was alone and in danger. He didn't know what to do. He ran as fast as he could, but the crocodile was faster. It chased him through the jungle, snapping its jaws and thrashing its tail. It was getting closer and closer. Tommy felt its breath on his neck. He thought he was going to die. But then, he heard a loud roar. He turned his head and saw a lion. The lion was big and strong and brave. It had a golden mane and a powerful pounce. It was the king of the jungle. It came to Tommy's rescue. The lion jumped on the crocodile and bit its neck. The crocodile let go of Tommy and fought back. The two animals wrestled and growled. They were evenly matched. They were both fierce and fearless. Tommy didn't wait to see who would win. He took the chance and ran away. He ran until he found a safe place to hide. He hid behind a bush and waited. He hoped the lion would be okay. He hoped the crocodile would go away. He hoped his parents would find him. He waited for a long time, until he heard a familiar voice. It was his father. He was calling his name. He had a flashlight and a rifle. He had come to look for him. He had heard his whistle and followed his trail. Tommy was overjoyed. He came out of his hiding place and ran to his father. He hugged him and cried. He told him what had happened. He told him about the crocodile and the lion. He thanked him for saving him. His father hugged him back and comforted him. He said he was sorry for letting him go. He said he was glad he was safe. He said he was proud of him for being brave. He said they should go back to the camp and join his mother. Tommy agreed and followed his father. They walked back to the camp, where they met his mother. She was worried and relieved. She hugged him and kissed him. She said she loved him and missed him. She said they should never leave him alone again. Tommy said he loved her and missed her too. He said he was sorry for causing trouble. He said he learned his lesson. He said he would never wander off again. He said he wanted to go home. They packed their bags and left the jungle. They said goodbye to the guide and thanked him for his help. They took the bus to the city, where they boarded the plane. They flew back to their country, where they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, within the cozy hollow of a majestic oak tree, there resided a spirited young squirrel named Sammy. Sammy was renowned among the woodland creatures for his adventurous nature and insatiable curiosity. One fateful day, while scurrying through the labyrinthine depths of the oak, Sammy stumbled upon a mysterious parchment concealed beneath a pile of acorn shells. Intrigued by the enigmatic markings upon the ancient scroll, Sammy resolved to embark on a perilous journey to unravel its secrets. With each twist of the winding passages and every leap across the chasms, Sammy's determination to unlock the scroll's mysteries only grew stronger. At long last, after overcoming myriad challenges and confronting his deepest fears, Sammy arrived at the heart of the oak, a hidden chamber adorned with radiant crystals and shimmering jewels. But as Sammy reached out to claim the treasure, he realized that the true wealth lay not in the precious gems, but in the knowledge and wisdom he had gained throughout his journey. And so, Sammy learned that the greatest adventures are not measured in riches or treasures, but in the bonds of friendship and the lessons learned along the way. Join us next time for another captivating tale, where we delve into the wonders of the natural world. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting adventures. Lily was a young girl who loved to play Pal World. She had a special pal that she always played with. Her name was Lumi, and she was a Lumipal. Lumipals were small, fluffy pals that could glow in different colors. They were very friendly and loyal to their owners. Lily and Lumi had been playing Pal World for a long time. They had built a cozy base, made many friends, and caught many pals. They had also explored many areas and dungeons, and learned a lot about the history and culture of Pal World. One day, they decided to visit a new area that they had never been to before. It was called the Crystal Cave, and it was said to be full of beautiful crystals and rare pals. Lily and Lumi were very excited to see what they could find there. They packed their bags, took their flying car, and headed to the Crystal Cave. When they arrived, they saw a huge entrance that sparkled in the sunlight. They entered the cave, and were amazed by the sight. The walls, the ceiling, and the floor were all covered with crystals of different shapes, sizes, and colors. They looked like jewels, and they reflected the light in a dazzling way. Lily and Lumi walked deeper into the cave, admiring the crystals and looking for pals. They saw many pals that they had never seen before. Some of them were cute, some of them were cool, and some of them were scary. Lily and Lumi tried to catch some of them, but they were either too fast, too strong, or too shy. They kept walking until they reached a large chamber. In the center of the chamber, there was a huge crystal that shone brighter than any other. It was shaped like a star, and it had a rainbow of colors. Lily and Lumi were drawn to it, and they approached it carefully. As they got closer, they felt a strange sensation. They felt a warm and gentle energy that filled their hearts. They felt a connection with the crystal, and with each other. They felt like they had found something special. They touched the crystal, and suddenly, they heard a voice in their minds. It was a soft and sweet voice, and it said, "Hello, Lily and Lumi. I am the Crystal Pal. I have been waiting for you for a long time. You are the chosen ones, the ones who can awaken me from my slumber. You have the purest hearts, the strongest bonds, and the brightest lights. You are the ones who can bring peace and harmony to Pal World. Will you accept my power and my mission?" Lily and Lumi were shocked and amazed. They looked at each other, and they nodded. They felt a surge of courage and determination. They said, "Yes, we will. We accept your power and your mission. We want to help Pal World and all the pals. We want to make the world a better place." The Crystal Pal smiled and said, "Thank you, Lily and Lumi. You have made me very happy. Now, I will give you my power and my mission. You will become the Crystal Guardians, the protectors of Pal World. You will have the ability to use the power of the crystals, and to communicate with all the pals. You will also have the responsibility to stop the evil forces that threaten Pal World, and to restore the balance of nature. You will face many dangers and challenges, but you will also have many allies and friends. You will not be alone. I will always be with you, in your hearts and in your minds. Are you ready?" Lily and Lumi felt a wave of excitement and curiosity. They said, "Yes, we are ready. We are the Crystal Guardians. We are ready to start our adventure." The Crystal Pal said, "Very well. Then, let the adventure begin. Good luck, Lily and Lumi. May the crystals guide you and protect you. Farewell, for now." The crystal glowed brighter and brighter, until it enveloped Lily and Lumi in a blinding light. They felt a transformation in their bodies and souls. They felt a new power and a new purpose. They felt a new adventure waiting for them. They opened their eyes, and they saw a new world. A world full of wonder and mystery. A world full of pals and crystals. A world full of Pal World. They smiled at each other, and they said, "Let's go, Lumi. Let's go, Lily. Let's go, Pal World." They held hands, and they ran towards their destiny. They were the Crystal Guardians, and this was their adventure. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Rose who lived in a castle with her parents, the king and the queen. She was very kind and beautiful, and she loved to dance and sing. She had everything she wanted, except for one thing, an adventure. She felt bored and restless, and she wished she could see the world and have some excitement. She asked her parents to let her go out and explore, but they refused. They said it was too dangerous, and that she had to stay in the castle. They said they would find her a prince to marry, and that he would make her happy. Rose did not want to marry a prince she did not know or love. She wanted to find her own happiness, and her own adventure. She decided to sneak out of the castle, and go on a journey. She put on a simple dress, a cloak, and a hat, and she took a horse from the stable. She also took a necklace with a rose pendant, a gift from her mother. She rode out of the gate, and into the forest. She rode through the trees, enjoying the wind and the sun. She saw amazing sights and met wonderful people. She felt free and happy, and she sang a song. She was having a great time until she reached a dark and spooky part of the forest. There, she saw a big and gloomy castle where a group of bandits lived. They were cruel and greedy, and they kidnapped people and robbed them. They saw her, and they captured her. They took her to their castle and locked her in a tower. They said to her, "Who are you, and where are you from? You look like a rich and noble lady. You must have a lot of money and jewels. We will keep you here until your family pays us a ransom. If they don't, we will sell you to the highest bidder." Rose was scared and angry. She said to them, "I am not a rich and noble lady. I am a poor and humble traveler. I don't have any money or jewels. You have made a mistake, and you have to let me go." The bandits laughed and said, "Don't lie to us, girl. We know you are a princess. We saw your necklace, and we recognized it. It belongs to the royal family of the Kingdom of Roses. You are the daughter of the king and the queen, and you are worth a fortune. We will not let you go until we get what we want." They took her necklace, and they sent a message to her parents, demanding a huge sum of money for her release. They also threatened to harm her if they did not comply. They left her alone in the tower, and they guarded the door. Rose was very sad and hopeless. She wished she had never left the castle, and she wished she could see her parents again. She wondered if anyone would come and save her, and if she would ever have an adventure. One day, she heard a voice. It was a voice of a man who was climbing up the tower. He said, "Hello, princess. I'm here to rescue you. I'm Prince Leo from the Kingdom of Lions. I heard about your situation, and I came to help you. I have a plan, and I have a friend. Trust me, and follow me." Rose was curious and hopeful. She looked out of the window, and saw a handsome and brave prince, who had a rope and a sword. He also had a friend, a lion, who was waiting for him at the bottom of the tower. He smiled at her and said, "Are you ready, princess? Let's go." He cut the rope, and he swung into the tower. He grabbed Rose, and he swung out of the tower. He landed on the lion, and he rode away from the castle. He fought against the bandits, who tried to stop them. He escaped from the forest, and he took Rose to his kingdom. He introduced her to his parents, the king and the queen, and they welcomed her with open arms. They also contacted her parents, and they told them that she was safe and sound. They arranged a meeting, and they reunited Rose with her parents. They were overjoyed to see her, and they hugged her and kissed her. They also thanked Leo, and they praised him for his courage and kindness. They said to him, "You are a hero, and you are a friend. You have saved our daughter, and you have made her happy. We are very grateful to you, and we are very fond of you. We would like to offer you a reward, and we would like to ask you a question. Would you like to marry our daughter, and become our son-in-law?" Leo looked at Rose, and he saw that she was smiling and blushing. He felt a warm and fuzzy feeling in his heart, and he said to them, "I would love to marry your daughter, and become your son-in-law. I have fallen in love with her, and I want to make her happy." Rose looked at Leo, and she saw that he was smiling and blushing. She felt a warm and fuzzy feeling in her heart, and she said to him, "I would love to marry you, and become your wife. I have fallen in love with you, and you have made me happy." They both laughed and hugged. They became engaged, and they planned their wedding. They also decided to go on another adventure and see the world together. They realized that they had found their own happiness and their own adventure. They were proud of themselves and proud of each other. They were happy and they were free. They lived happily ever after as the princess and the prince of the kingdoms of roses and lions. Once upon a time, the king of the forests, a lion, ventured out of his den one day to find some food. He roamed all day but couldn't find anything to eat. As he walked back towards his den that night, thinking about going to bed with an empty stomach, a tiny mouse crossed his path. Without hesitation, the lion quickly caught the little mouse. The tiny mouse was very scared and began to plead. "Dear lion, please don't eat me. I won't fill your belly anyway," the lion replied. "I'd rather go to sleep hungry than let you go." But the little mouse continued to plead, "Please, lion friend. If you don't eat me, I might be able to do you a favor one day." Hearing this, the lion couldn't help but laugh. "How can a small creature like you do a favor for a majestic king of the forests like me?" he said, but he still let the tiny mouse go. That night, with the growls of his empty stomach, the lion barely made it to morning, hoping to find something to eat. Suddenly, he found himself caught in a trap set by hunters. At that moment, he realized he had fallen into a hunter's snare. Helpless and knowing that no one would hear him or come to rescue him, he groaned in despair. The tiny mouse heard the lion's cries. "That's the lion who spared my life yesterday. Why is he groaning like this?" thought the mouse as he followed the sound and found the lion. Seeing the mouse, the lion was overjoyed. "Come on, save me, little mouse. Can't you hear the hunters approaching?" he shouted. The mouse quickly climbed up a tree and began to nibble on the ropes of the snare holding the lion. After creating a hole big enough for the lion to escape, they both fled from the scene together. The lion thanked the mouse profusely, saying, "From now on, you are my closest friend. It seems we shouldn't judge based on size. Whenever you need help, just call me, and I'll always be there for you." And so, the lion and the mouse became the best of friends. Long ago, on a distant planet called Cybertron, there lived two races of robots, the Autobots and the Decepticons. The Autobots were peaceful and noble, while the Decepticons were warlike and evil. They fought for control of the planet and its powerful energy source, the Allspark. One day, the leader of the Autobots, Optimus Prime, decided to end the war by launching the Allspark into space, hoping that it would never be found. But the leader of the Decepticons, Megatron, followed the Allspark, determined to claim it for himself. He tracked it to a small blue planet called Earth, where he crashed and was frozen in the Arctic. Thousands of years later, a young boy named Sam Witwicky bought his first car, a yellow Camaro. He did not know that his car was actually an Autobot named Bumblebee, who had come to Earth to protect the Allspark. Bumblebee helped Sam find his crush, Michaela, and also alerted Optimus Prime and the other Autobots to the location of the Allspark. Meanwhile, the Decepticons had also arrived on Earth, and had revived Megatron from his icy prison. They attacked the city, where the Allspark was hidden in a military base. The Autobots and the humans teamed up to stop them, and a fierce battle ensued. Sam managed to get the Allspark, and ran towards Optimus Prime, who told him to put it in his chest, and destroy both him and the Allspark, to prevent Megatron from getting it. Sam refused, and instead pushed the Allspark into Megatron's chest, causing him to explode. The Autobots and the humans celebrated their victory, and Optimus Prime thanked Sam for his courage and friendship. He also sent a message to the other Autobots in the galaxy, inviting them to join him on Earth, their new home. He said, "We are here. We are waiting." Once upon a time, in a bustling city full of towering skyscrapers and endless roads, there were two little cars named Zoom and Dash. They were the best of friends and loved to race around the city. Zoom was a shiny red sports car who loved to go fast. He was always looking for the quickest way to get from one place to another. Dash, on the other hand, was a sturdy blue pickup truck. He was reliable and never rushed, always taking his time to enjoy the journey. One day, they decided to have a race to see who could reach the city park first. Zoom, with his speedy engine, zoomed ahead, leaving Dash behind. He was so sure of his victory that he didn't notice the road signs and ended up getting lost in the city's maze-like streets. Meanwhile, Dash, who was slow but knew the city well, followed the road signs and drove steadily towards the park. He arrived at the park just as the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the playground, the trees, and the small pond. Zoom finally found his way to the park, but it was too late. He realized that speed wasn't everything and that taking the time to understand and enjoy the journey was just as important. From that day forward, Zoom no longer rushed to his destination. Instead, he would drive alongside Dash, enjoying the city's sights and sounds. And they lived happily, learning and growing together in the bustling city they called home. Once upon a time, in a land filled with lush green forests and sparkling rivers, there lived a young dinosaur named Dino. Dino was a small, cheerful triceratops who loved to explore the vast wilderness around him. One day, while wandering near a river, Dino spotted something unusual. It was a shiny, round object half buried in the mud. With his strong horns, Dino dug up the object and to his surprise, it was a magical stone. The stone had a power; it could grant one wish to its finder. Dino was overjoyed. He thought hard about what he wanted most. He loved his home and all his dinosaur friends, but he always wished they could live without fear. The larger, fiercer dinosaurs often scared them, so Dino made his wish. He wished that all dinosaurs could live together in peace, without fear. As soon as he made the wish, the stone shone brightly and then returned to its normal state. The next day, Dino noticed a change. The larger dinosaurs were not scary anymore. They were playing with the smaller dinosaurs and helping them find food. Dino's wish had come true. From that day forward, all the dinosaurs lived together in harmony, and the forest was filled with laughter and joy. And Dino, the small triceratops, was the happiest of them all, knowing he had made a difference, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, there was a little cat. This cat had a cozy home, but it was tired of eating cat food all the time. Its owner wouldn't give it much else to eat, just whatever was left from their meals. So, the little cat couldn't enjoy as much meat as it wanted and was always unhappy. One day, while daydreaming about the meats it couldn't eat, the cat saw a bunch of chickens in the neighbor's yard. Here's a big chance for me. How delicious those chickens must be. I should go and catch a few, thought the cat. With great excitement, the cat left the house, but when it saw that the weather was too bright, it got scared of being caught and hurried back home. I better take a nap, maybe the weather will be darker later, it said, curling up on the couch. A few hours passed, and the hungry cat woke up. Without wasting time, it rushed out of the house towards the neighbor's yard. When it reached the garden gate and saw the chicken coop, its mouth watered. The cat, fixated on the chickens, didn't notice there was a doghouse right next to it. It entered the garden and slowly approached the coop. It silently crept up behind a chosen chicken. Just as it was about to pounce, it felt a sharp pain in its tail. When it turned around to see what happened, it saw a big dog. The dog said, "You must be very hungry, little cat, but it's my duty to protect my owner's chickens. So, I don't want to harm you. Go back home and learn to be content with what your owner gives you." The cat's heart nearly jumped out of fear. After apologizing, it hurried back home and never let greediness take over again. Once upon a time, in the vast blue ocean, there lived a tiny fish named Finny. Finny was not an ordinary fish. He was brightly colored with scales that shimmered in the sunlight. But what made Finny truly special was his insatiable curiosity. One day, Finny saw a light twinkling from the deep, dark depths of the ocean. Without a second thought, he decided to investigate. As he swam deeper, the water became colder, and the light grew brighter. Finally, he reached the source of the light. It was a beautiful, glowing pearl. But the pearl was trapped inside a giant clam. Finny knew he had to free the pearl, but how? Just then, he remembered a story his grandmother had told him about a clam that would only open for the sweetest song. So, Finny took a deep breath and began to sing. His voice echoed through the water, a melody as soft and soothing as the ocean waves. To his surprise, the clam slowly opened, revealing the glowing pearl. Finny carefully took the pearl and began his journey back home. When he returned, he was hailed as a hero. But for Finny, the real treasure was the adventure he had and the story he could now tell. And so, Finny learned that curiosity and bravery could lead to the most wonderful discoveries. From that day forward, he was never afraid to explore, always ready for the next big adventure.